My name is Pharmacist. I am the former chairman of the PSM in Nigerian. Also, in this hospital, in the pharmacy department, I'm the deputy director. Self-medication can be defined as when one takes medicine, maybe herbal remedies or home remedies, to treat symptoms that the person perceives is worrying him or her, of his or her own initiative without consulting a medical personnel, whether a physician or a pharmacist or a nurse. So the person feels that he has symptoms or she has symptoms that is affecting him and decides to take those medications without getting prescription from a medical personnel. It is not completely wrong to do self-medication. I think we also need to situate maybe why people do self-medication or why people self-medicate. One of the reasons why people self-medicate is because maybe, first of all, some people don't want to go and queue up in the hospital and wait for like a whole day seeing a doctor and then going through the process of going to do lab tests and that. Sometimes, like in this hospital, it's like a whole day seeing it. Some people feel that, okay, since what is worrying them is something that is minor, something that they can maybe take care of themselves, so they don't want to waste their time. So they do that. Then some, because they cannot even afford to see a physician, so they also decide to self-medicate. And some due to ignorance, because sometimes to self-medicate can also be dangerous, because when somebody self-medicates, so the person may have maybe a brief relief that can mask even the symptoms of even a more severe disease. So these are some of the reasons why people self-medicate. However, self-medication may be beneficial when what is being treated is something that is minor, something like cold, catarrh, simple cough. So people can self-medicate because when they do that, so they release pressure on the health system, especially the government health system, where people just come and then crowd, and then it will give the professionals enough time to focus on more serious cases when they don't have to be dealing with cases of people who just have maybe minor ones and maybe cough and catarrh. So it helps the system, the health system. It also makes the person that maybe self-medicates to get his or her relief at the time. So it is not totally wrong to self-medicate, but maybe by the time we look at also the risk also, we now need to like balance when you self-medicate and when not to self-medicate. One person, like somebody has headache, which maybe is due to stress, so one can self-medicate and you take painkillers like paracetamol or ibuprofen. Actually, some of the drug items that people used to self-medicate with are very common, like over-the-counter drugs, vitamin C, paracetamol, the pain relievers. Then like catarrh remedies, Actifed, so on and so forth. So these are okay. However, when people decide to use prescription drugs on their own, that is that will not be encouraged. It's never been encouraged for people to use antibiotics on their own, because antibiotics, to use them, has to be prescribed. And for it to be prescribed, there has to be diagnosis. There has to be like a ultrasensitivity test. The person undergoes laboratory investigations, and then, so in fact, the antibiotics to be used have to be tested and have to be sensitive or potent against the organism or the bacteria or the virus that is affecting the person. So if somebody just feels that, okay, I'm having a cough, and then decides to be using antibiotics, the person may be using the wrong drug or using the wrong dosage, and then eventually, and that is one of the challenges of self-medication. So it will not be and result in resistance, that is bacterial antibiotic resistance, whereby by the time the body, that person now needs that medicine again, that medicine will not, because the person has abused the drug, using it when he or she didn't need it. So no matter what, so we medical professionals will never support anybody self-medicating using antibiotics. Even the other like painkillers too. In fact, you should remember, whenever painkillers are even being advertised, to watch it, okay, if symptoms of your headache persist after 3 days, consult a medical person. So why people can self-medicate, but they cannot self-medicate on severe cases or like even infectious cases. Even malaria treatment too, one has to even be sure that there's malaria. Some people, I'm feeling tired, I feel fatigued, they say, I'm treat malaria, I must take antibiotics. It is wrong. And there are some people who even go to pharmacists, or in fact, some people even go and meet doctors and say, look, I want antibiotics. I say, okay, what is wrong with you? I just feel tired. No, it's not like that. So to take some medicines, then some tests have to be done, and then based on the result of the test, then drugs will be prescribed, and then the person has to take. So, and then also there are some ailments that even though they are not infectious ailments, that even the person is not supposed to start taking medication on his or her own. Ailment like hypertension, diabetes, you can't just start on your own. So it has to be properly diagnosed, and then the physician has to actually prescribe before the person can start taking the medicine. And then once the medicine starts, then you can also not stop, because self-medication is either you start on your own or you want to stop on your own. So you cannot stop on your own too. If, for example, anti-hypertensive medicines, when a physician has prescribed that it should be taken until and then you have to be doing follow-up, going for hospital visitations until the doctor now says, okay, you can stop. Even though some people will say, okay, that the level of severity may not be, the person suffering may not be able to assess the level of severity. But at least when somebody has minor headache, which is not even migraine, the person can take this normal over-the-counter medicines. But whenever it has to be prescribed, there are medicines that we call prescription-only medicines. So what it means that nobody can take it except it's prescribed. Even if you are a medical personnel, somebody has to prescribe it for you, and it will be based on the results of the assessments that are done. The other dangers with self-medication is that anybody that self-medicates may be prone to adverse drug reactions. That person may not be able to know that, okay, it is the drug that is causing it. Because the person is taking the medicine, and by the time there's an issue, the person may have to be hospitalized. So then there are some adverse reactions that can even cause like gastrointestinal bleeding, that is bleeding of the digestive systems. So which the person who is using it might not know all the side effects before taking it. Then, like I said before, there's the issue that the initial relief the person gets might mask a more severe ailment that is inside the person. So that is it. Then it can also lead to wastage of scarce resources, because when somebody self-medicates and eventually the disease now rears its major mayhem, then the person will not have to spend more. So instead of if the person had actually consulted a physician in the first instance, then maybe what the person will spend eventually will be lower than what has been done before. Then there's also the danger that the drug resistance that has happened to one person can also be a kind of community effect. The issue is that when somebody has been taking herbal remedies, whether you call it traditional or whatever, is that it's always good to, and I think I've mentioned it before, disclose whatever you are taking when you have maybe health challenges that you are now seeing a physician. So whatever you are taking before, let the physician know. So physician can also say, okay, these drugs can work and don't about it, because in drug interactions, it can be mild or can be fatal. There's what we call even food-drug interaction, then drug-herbal remedies interaction. So then there's also drug-drug interaction. So it is also noted that natural medicines are safe. So there are so many of them that are not safe, especially when one has to take them with orthodox medicine. So the main thing is that whatever one is taking, herbal, even if it is only dogon, so when you are taking it and you have to take maybe orthodox medicine, it's better to stop those ones. So in fact, there's what we call a kind of washout period. Maybe leave in a gap of like 4 hours or 48 hours, and then you, before you now take a new. And then when you finish taking, maybe for the duration of the orthodox medicine, you want to continue, still leave a kind of gap of like 1, 2, 3 days, so that the effect of those orthodox medicine will also have worn off before you continue with this what you call herbal preparations. And even some of these what you call this maybe vitamins, supplements too. So not all of them are also safe in the issue of drug reactions. Every drug is a potential, poison. So we should always try to, even if we want to self-medicate, we should self-medicate responsibly. We should always ask questions, always ask your pharmacist, always ask your physician, and like I said, you should have a medical person as a friend or as a relation, somebody you can always call that you need counseling on this.